Hi, welcome back to Conversations with Kanyumozi. My name is Lisa Kanyumozi Reboni, and the glow is sponsored by the Sun as well as Ovanire for the hijab, jewelry, and t-shirt. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're doing amazing. It's still March, it's still Women's Month, and so much has happened between when I wrote my script and today morning. For one, the president of Tanzania, Pombe Magufuli, I've forgotten the English one, passed away last night from heart complications. There's a conversation on the TL, and I'm a bit in the middle because this is a man who denied the coronavirus, which caused the death of many Tanzanians. Do I feel sorry? I don't know. I don't know, but let's get into it. So one thing that we're definitely doing is a feminist personality this episode. We're talking Mariam Sankara. If you have heard of Thomas Isodere Sankara, then you probably might or might not have heard of Mariam Sankara. And she was his wife and a great supporter of his work. He was one of the men who championed women's liberation alongside liberation, something not a lot of your leaders do. But also she was a great support for him, and also a revolutionary who supported Burkina Faso and the uprising that came up after. There's a letter she wrote when young people stood up against the dictator or the president at the time, called President Blaise. I cannot pronounce the French name. And she said, "I find it necessary to thank all those who contributed to that, those who chased the dictator Blaise away. I am happy, proud to step on the lands of Burkina Faso," she declared. "You have showed that united, determined, and conscious of stakes of your time, no country can build its future without you." I think this woman was very, very determined in fighting the cause, just as her husband did, and that I think she's a woman we need to read about, we need to talk about as well. So today's conversation is on consent, because funny enough, that's what the TL was reeling about throughout the week. My sentiments about explaining consent to people are people understand. It did not take me got years to learn about consent. It was yes or no. There's different analogies that have come. A simple Google search can take you through, walk through, but people choose not to understand consent, maybe because they have participated in acts that are not consensual, that they thought were consensual, and they do not want to accept the guilt, or they just do not care enough for people's, autonomy, so they refuse to accept consent. So when I see people doing the labor, shout out to you when it comes to it. But sometimes people just refuse to understand consent, and you have to treat them accordingly to their actions. However, I do want to open up a conversation on stealthing, something that's not often talked about when we talk about consent. Maybe sometimes we talk about the yes and the no, and when it comes to sex or rape or assault, but maybe we've not had a very good conversation when it comes to stealthing. So what is stealthing? Stealthing is the non-consensual removal of a condom without your partner's consent. And this is usually done without their knowledge, because someone has chosen to only have sex with you with a condom, and when they do not know, you take it off, or it is damaging a condom before you have sex. So people usually do this for their own enjoyment, apparently, or to trap people. One of the two. Nonetheless, I don't need to explain to you why it's wrong, because one thing that is part of consent is it has to be informed. So each and every part or each and every act that follows my consent being given, I should be informed 101%. When I'm not informed, then it ceases to be consent. Okay? So what I'm asking for you to do is do better. Inform yourself. You're both parties. Would you like to participate in an act that you fully do not agree to? Then why are you selfish enough to not inform someone? Second, I'm speaking on a Kampala context. Y'all are sick. Y'all mess around a bit too much. So risking someone's health for the sake of your 2 minutes of pleasure or 15 seconds is genuinely unfair. And I do want to get into the legal context of if there is any, or if there's something that should be done when it comes to regards to this conversation. But let us just learn to do better. Consent is very easy if you choose to actually actually want to partake in the conversation and actually do better. Don't stealth people. It's traumatizing to learn that you trusted someone enough to go forward with an act and they take away your power mid-act. So yeah, till next week, this is Conversations with Kanyomozi. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to Net Studios that makes all of this possible, and our home, a design hub, Kampala. Till next week, bye-bye.